Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Total Education Celebrity Show. I'm the host of the show, Neil Haley. You can go to my website, totaltutor.net, for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, and all those different places. And we're on the Simply G Celebrity segment on the Simply G Media Network, and I'm so excited to welcome the program. And even though it's our flagship station, I'm sorry, again, it's one of our big rivals, but the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, Jason Campbell. Jason, thanks for coming by to talk to us today.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Excited to talk to you. And when I kind of tried to look up and do research, I saw you've had a great career. You keep, you're always doing the very best. You did really good in college and continue your career in the NFL. But one thing I saw that's very important that keeps you going, especially with adversity, Jason, some of the teams you've been on that have not been winners and different things, that God is really an important part of your life. Can you share us when you first found God?
Yeah, as a kid, I grew up in a household where both parents, they're still married, been married for like 44 years, and, we was always involved in church growing up, and, it's part of us as a youth, whether we was, working with them, or we start off in the choir, and then you go to an usher, and just different things we used to do growing up, and Dad always told me, like, during tough times, even during the good times, always keep your faith. And, God won't ever, He won't ever fail you. And, no matter what the circumstance look like, don't get caught up into the circumstances. Don't get caught up into how things look, but just have faith that they always have a way of working themselves out. And I just remember even in college, Brother Chet Williams, who's our team chaplain, he's still the team chaplain there now. He was outstanding during our FCAs, during the season. I think I learned more that year during the season about my teammates than any other year I ever played football. And the reason was we would get in a room. We were probably like a group of 15 or 20 guys, and, as many guys on the team could come if they want. And for an hour, it was nothing about football. It was just about getting to know the person, and the person in the room. And our talks was, where they come from and how they grew up, and you would be stunned about some of the things you hear about what your teammates had to get through and what they had to go through to get to where they're at, and, how they try and change their lives, and, how God is a big more part of their lives and everything. And for them, like, their testimony was, I'm only here because the way God brought me out of certain situations and put me in this uniform. And then, and that year we locked arms and we went undefeated. 2004 Auburn, and a lot of that had to do with because we was such a brotherhood and we had such great faith. And our verse that year was always Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, all your ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path. And that's how I feel in my pro career. I've had to go through a lot of adversity. A contract year in Oakland, having 2 solid years out there, and I ended up breaking my collarbone and getting 14 screws put in, and you just feel like the end is there. And you just and they end up trading for another quarterback, and you're just like, man, what else can go wrong?
Right.
And you just find yourself now in a situation where you go to Chicago, you get healthy, you're in Cleveland, you played a little bit last year. But I always understood that football is my career, it's my job, but it's not my life. And like I said, the most important things in life, like God, family, career, and then finance. So, it's just to be able to be where I'm at today, it's been a blessing, regardless of the adversity I had to go through.
So I'm going to touch upon this Auburn experience. Again, I watched the special on ESPN about Auburn and Alabama, the rivalry. It was amazing, and my wife was supposed to tape the rest of it, and I was like, because I couldn't get to watch all of it, and she said, I deleted it. I said, no, it was such an interesting story, and I was definitely rooting for you guys in so many ways because you see Auburn, they're the superstardom, and I mean Alabama is, and then Auburn kind of is the redheaded stepchild in certain ways. So your faith and everything that happened to you that season, do you think that was a key point in going undefeated in certain ways, Jason?
Yeah, I think it was a huge point. Like I said, I understand the 2010 team went undefeated with Cam as well. But, from talking to a lot of people there, they say it was just a sense of closeness that we had amongst all our guys. We had like 20-some seniors that year, but all our guys have went through so much together for the adversity, and then we ended up having a lot of guys go pro off that team as well. But a lot of it had to do with, our faith and our team meetings that we had the the Friday night before the game, where we gathered into a room. And, we talked about the things that God has done in our lives and how He's changed us and how He continues to work with us. Of course, none of us perfect. We all have some mistakes and things we have to improve on, but guys are just pouring their hearts out to each other. So when you feel another brother pouring his heart out to you, you kind of, feel like, like he's giving you his personal life, and then you telling him about your personal life, it's just like, it's a sense of trust there. And that all played into how the burst came about, and all played about how we played that season. It's like every person trusts one another. And we always say iron sharpens iron. And so each player give you all, and don't let each other down. And that's how we went through that whole season that year. And that's finishing undefeated, because we felt like every time we touched the field, we could not be beat, because we had so much that was going with us that, we weren't afraid of anything.
And you shocked the world in so many ways because of that rivalry between Alabama. That Auburn, finally, national champions. You know what I mean? It must have been just amazing in the state of Alabama, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always a huge rivalry. You always talk to people, some people that be married, their wife is from Alabama, or their husband's from Auburn, or reverse. But every time you turn around, they say they don't talk to each other that whole day. I was like, really? And it's also been some scary moments too. Like, you've heard, things happen to kids, or parents doing something to kids just because one of their teams lost or something, and they didn't take it well. And that's the sad part about the rivalry, because some people take it well too far. And, like the guy poisoning the trees at Auburn and everything like that. I'm like, that takes away from the game. It's a rivalry within itself, because it's in-state rivals. But don't take it so far outside the game till you do something to kids, or you punish some people, or you doing, stuff that doesn't have nothing to do with the game. Keep it a fun game. Understand what the rivalry is, what it is, but, don't take the personal aspects towards anyone else.
Exactly. We're talking to Jason Campbell from the Cleveland Browns, and really enjoying the discussion about his faith and the story in Auburn, and then going and dealing with adversity, especially with the Raiders and the injury and the Raiders, and then ending up with Cleveland. And I think that, Jason, one thing you got to thank God for is a lot of NFL quarterbacks, have that situation happen to them, and then they end up never back on the field again. So they end up either retiring early or certain things. So you got to feel you're blessed in a way to keep your career going.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I always say that I'll be going to my 10th season this year, and it's a blessing to play that long, because the average NFL career is 3 years. And, you always hear about the guys that play a lot and seem like, the guys play a lot longer, but if you look at the average guys that come in and out of the NFL, it's really 2 to 3 years. And for me to be going to my 10th year, dealing with all the coaches I've had to go through, and then the different adversities for his injuries, dislocated my knee back in 2007, and then having a broken collarbone on my throwing shoulder. Like, that could have been career-ending itself. And, God has blessed me still to play even more years after that, and everything. So sometimes you can sit back and say, what if, you had one coach your whole career, or one, two, but the other side of it is, you can look at it and be like, what a story, to go through all those injuries and those different coaches, and to be able to have a long career, and and not look back. Maybe it can be a story for some other kid that, just coming along, and just how he sees an adversity, it may just keep him, keep moving forward and not giving up and throwing in the towel. Because sometimes you feel like throwing in the towel, something good will happen, and you just gotta persevere and just keep fighting. And I would tell all athletes, I say, guys don't make it to this level because they didn't go through any adversity.
Exactly.
They got to this level because they knew how to handle adversity.
Exactly.
Get through adversity.
Absolutely. And one thing that you look at your faith and the God's been with you, you definitely are about giving back, Jason. And honestly, if you Googled yourself and saw that stuff, you're a very humble person that doesn't share as much. I found an article, and that's how I found out this is the premise of our interview. It's not going to be about football. It's going to be about something that's really important on my celebrity shows, talking about people that give back. So what happened, Jason, is basically in the off seasons, you do a lot of cool things to help out the community and do things. So tell us a little bit about how you give back to kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, I usually go back home at the Mississippi, and I usually go around and I talk to high schools. I usually go around talking to high schools, kids about, education, staying in school, and then I go around and talk to a couple of high school teams, and I talk to some athletic banquets, about fighting adversity and about not quitting, not ever giving up, your dream. And I would always tell people, a lot of folks can tell you what you can't do or what you can't achieve. If you listen to it, you allow that stuff to sink in and come true. But I always use it as motivation, to let it motivate me to be like, you don't determine my future, God does. And just because you say what I can't do doesn't mean I can't do it. I was like, because not everyone's for you. And that's why I always tell them, like, when you start to do things or you're going in the right direction, there's always so many people trying to pull you down. And the reason is, a lot of folks don't want to see you be successful or see you get ahead of them. I was like, so don't look at it that way. I said, look at it as something you want to do for yourself and don't ever quit. And so I do football camps in the summer, and they're free football camps. I team up with FCA down in Hattiesburg, Campbell. It's ran by Mitch Williams, and he does an outstanding job. And what he does is he has kids that come in every year. It's called a quarterback club. And he'll have about 100, 150 guys come in. And they keep them over the whole weekend. And for that whole weekend, he'll have guest speakers come in and speak about their faith, speak about, how they was able to reach success in life or reach things that they wanted to achieve. And it's a faith camp and a skills camp to the point where you're not talking about skills in football. You're talking about social skills and communication skills and, choosing the right friends to be around, the choices that you make and those type of things. So it's teaching them how to become men.
Yes.
And it's outstanding. It's a fun weekend. And then like I said, I team up with them. We do a free football camp for kids. 2 years in a row, we've had over 400 kids to come out. And it has been a lot of fun because that's just a way of giving back. A lot of times people have these camps that get so expensive that kids can't afford to go to them. I don't want a kid back at home to have that as a reason for them not to be able to show up and, try to do something, learn something that may help them along the way, because I have other NFL guys that come and help work the camp as well. And we do the same thing that any of these other camps do across the nation. And we just want to bring it closer to them. So they not just see us on TV, but they can touch us and feel us and actually hear us in person.
Well, Jason, a tremendous story of in the short time that we had you on the program. We definitely want to have you back again to maybe talk some football with us and some other stories of how you made it in the NFL and stories of Auburn. So I appreciate you being able to reach out to you and connect with you on LinkedIn and really learn about you. And I'm glad that our international audience will learn more about who Jason Campbell is. Is there a place to find information on you? Again, we show your humility. There's not a lot out there to find you except Wikipedia. Is there anything else that I was missing?
No, not yet. I'm actually in the process of probably working with someone to start branding things a little more. But other than that, I'm kind of a low-key guy, kind of just go along by my business and everything, and just try to do things to help others, and not looking for anything back. Just I just think that's just why we're here. We're here to share. We're here to help each other and help each other grow in life and whatever aspects that come our way.
Well, Jason, thanks for calling, and I hope that you'd like to come back again, talk some stories and stuff like that. And I enjoyed chatting with you. So thanks again for calling.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right, take care. All right, you're listening to the Total Education Celebrity Show on the Total Education Network, and we'll be back in just a moment.